This video is proudly sponsored by DigimonCard.io for all your Digimon card, deck building, deck list, card pricing, and discussion needs.
Hey everyone, Eggman here with another video, and today we have a double top 16 breakdown for both Ultimate Cups that happened this past weekend. The North American one hosted by PlayTCG, as we see here, as well as the Latin American one. And I almost have all the deck lists for this one. We're missing 5 as of this recording, and if you guys have any information on some of these missing ones, please let me know. I will be checking the comments and everything else, and my Facebook inbox and everything else. But and chances are, if you guys are watching this video right now, there's more updated deck lists as is. I wish I actually had first and second place, but I unfortunately don't as of this recording, but I will be updating this as soon as I can. So, but that's what we're going to do today. We're going to look at both these events. The Ultimate Cup format is almost done, and we got, I think, one more big weekend of it, and then it's kind of done for BT12. But I think we've got a good showing for both of these events. And real quick as well, if you guys appreciate these videos and everything else, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, as well as to check out my website, Eggman Events, which has all of the breakdowns for all of the events for this format and others and future formats, since we're getting to EX4 pretty soon as well. So starting off with the North American event, we do see this top 16 where it's, you know, pretty evenly distributed between 5 archetypes of 5 BWGX and 5 Machinedramons, as well as 2 Bloomlord, with one of them winning the event, 2 Red Hybrids, and 2 War Greymons as well, which is again pretty solidified on kind of what these archetypes are looking like. I don't think there's much out of the, you know, between this event and the Latin American event. There's not really an archetype that's surprised me. Probably Blue Flare getting that top there. That's probably the only one that I think is a little peculiar for this meta to get a top right now. But in general, I think these are all pretty solid and pretty understood good decks in this format too. So we're going to go over each one of the top placing lists for each one of these archetypes, and then a little bit different, we're just going to go to, after that, we're going to look at the different decks in Latin America. There's, I think there's 3 decks that at least we know of right now that topped in Latin America, but did not top in the North American event. So we're going to start off with our first place list by Gary Chungman Chan, who is our 2021 world champion, at least in the English version. He's kind of took a retirement, at least I haven't seen him play online events or any other events for most of the last season, but he did get a second place regional win last month with pretty much Bloomlord. So and that was before the BWGX limits and everything else got hit. So Blasso was also at full speed, but then getting a first place with this event here too. So nothing too different, I would say, from his build from the regionals. Obviously 1 Blasso and 1 Hydra, because you can't run more than those, more than one of each in this format, but nothing too peculiar, I would say, in this deck build. Probably the only one is probably like the Intmon, which is a Digisorption for 3. It is vegetation. It costs 4 at regular Digivolve, so it is like for 1 with the reduction. But when Digivolving, if 2 or more suspended Digimon play, you get to unsuspend this Digimon, so that can be kind of nice in a couple situations. And again, it's technically Digivolving for 1 as long as you do the Digisorption, but you're also kind of you really need to Digivolve to go up the lane for this, because otherwise it's 4, which is quite costly. So other than that, I think the deck is pretty solid. The play style is very understood, and Gary's very, very good on this deck when he's going for it. So congratulations for a first place with him there. And then next up we have Ryan Carson, second place with BWGX. And I don't really have a lot to say about this deck. Nothing against it, but we've pretty much been seeing BWGX top since, you know, BT12 release. I would say there's nothing too different with this build that I haven't seen a couple times. I think some people, Calling from Darkness is somewhat an option. Some people use, some people don't, and depending on how much you want to go into your line. So you know, Witchmon I think is a little bit of a decision point, and Baomon as well. Like at least the BT10 one, but pretty standard across the board after that. So not much more to say, but congratulations to Carson for their second place there. Next up we have Andrew Shepard with their third place Machinedramon, and Machinedramon has definitely been really popular, at least in North America, and I think there's a good amount of people in Oceania who like playing Machinedramon as well. Maybe not as much as the other regions, at least as we saw in the Latin American event. Only one that we've seen has been reported for that. It could have won the event, so we'll see if that. Let me know in the chat and in the comments too what you guys thought won the Latin American event. So it makes it really hard for me to actually find out what is the actual winner. But we do have a couple new tools, at least with BT12 for this deck, specifically the Doraemon, which is one of the promo or like the box topper versions of the security rookies that we didn't get for like a year after they were released in Japan. So I think we'll see all of these guys kind of sneak into decks eventually as people kind of realize, like, yeah, these cards are still kind of good. In this one, being able to get just card draw in the cycle and also like a guaranteed rookie from your security back into your hand, since this deck doesn't run a lot of rookies, I think is helpful and nice for this deck specifically. Also, because you're running Numemon and the Jazzardmon, the Doraemon will be able to play it from the top of your deck if that happens to be there. So obviously not very often, but can happen. And then everything else I'd say is pretty standard for what we're seeing from Machinedramon. Everyone kind of has their own magic brew of their level 5s that they like and how much they want to commit into going up their level 4s. I will say, like, no Guardramon is a little bit unique. A lot of players do kind of go into the Guardramon for level 4s, but everything else kind of seems pretty solid. I think the only other decision point is Attack of the Heavy Mobile Digimon. Some people are running it, some people aren't. Sometimes it's dead in hand, but sometimes it can win you by giving you that last attack you need. I don't think that's very often. There's that. There's also no Ragna in this build, but don't worry, we'll see some Ragnas in some future builds for the rest of this video. So anyways, congratulations to Andrew for their 3rd place finish there. Next up, we have Matthew with his 6th place Red Hybrid. And I think Red Hybrid's been doing okay for this event. I'd probably say it's towards the bottom of maybe top 5, if not maybe 6 top 6 archetypes in this format right now. It is very explosive. It can do a lot of damage. I think it can get walled out by a couple decks, and it can sometimes brick because you don't have a lot of cycle at times, but again, it does punch very nice. You are pretty much just missing Bokomon, which I think is a bit of a strong miss at times because it does help you find your pieces, and also if your opponent's not able to get rid of Bokomon, or if they spend resources to get rid of Bokomon, it lets you just set up a little bit more. So I think that's a little bit impactful for that one, but not too crazy. There's also the one of Fire Drake Strike, which is BT7. So main choose one of your Digimon with hybrid in its traits to delete one of your opponent's Digimon with DP less than or equal to the chosen Digimon's DP. And securities, you can play a Takuya from your hand or trash with Penga's memory. So interesting card. I'd say like at a 1 is fine, probably 1 or 2 of for this. I wouldn't run any more than that, but a bit of a unique choice that I haven't seen in a lot of other builds. So anyways, congratulations to Matthew for their 6th place there. And to wrap up the North American event, we have Brian with their 7th place Black or Gray X. And he's no stranger to this deck. He has been on this channel personally before, interviewed for his Ragna builds with Black or Gray, and are just with War Gray. I'm thinking we're going to stick to this being just War Gray, even though it's just a hodgepodge at the top end. But again, like, the idea is that you just have one of your stacks, you just have them out, that's hard to get rid of, and then you can Dorbic and you can just make a giant stack and go into Ragna at the end of turn. This one's not running the DNA, so you do have to have the hard 3 memory if you're doing the perfect Dorbic stack to get there, but I think that's not too terrible to go. And then you are running a couple pieces of different names. So we have Agu X, we have Agumon, we have Metal Gray with Metal Gray X, Metal Gray Ultras. We have our one of Geo Gray to help probably get there too. And then just a couple of your Gaiomons, Blackwood Grays, and Blackwood Grays X. So shouldn't be too difficult to find your line and be able to go up it, but it's something that you do have to kind of concede when you're also not getting the free end of turn DNA at all. But I think the deck is strong. I think Brian's a strong player with it too, and just a big congrats on his top 8 finish there. So that is that event, and then we're going to the Latin American event. And again, I don't have as much data as I want to, but I will be updating this when I get more information from wherever it is. I do also want to just shout out the Digimon Latin American Facebook page. This is where I got a lot of my information, so please make sure to check them out. Make sure to give that like and follow to that page too. I would not be able to make this page or anywhere near as much information for this event if it wasn't for them and their postings and just everything else. So we're going into this for what we have right now. We have 3 Ulforce, 2 Bloomlord, 2 BWGX, 2 Yellow hybrid, 1 blue flare, 1 Machinedramon, and 5 missing at this point. So it is kind of interesting to see. Ulforce is super good. I generally see Ulforce doing a little bit better in like Europe and like South America and Latin America, which I'm wondering if it's just if it is something about like less people are on Machinedramon, which means the deck is able to do a little bit better, or just more people are just on it in general. So that's something that's a little bit interesting from that side. And again, we only have 1 confirmed Machinedramon in the top 16 right now, but we'll see if we can get any more information down the line. But we're going to look at 3 lists from this event, specifically starting off with our 3rd place Ulforce. This is Christopher's build right here, and something that we've been seeing a lot of is just the Beelzemon and the Dracomon as the bottom end. Just this gives essentially just a free plus 1k to our guys all the time, which is nice as long as it gets the unsuspend, which is pretty easy in this deck. And the Dracomon essentially the same thing. So I do think that there are some walls you need to be able to overcome in this deck. Specifically, Machinedramon has a lot of them, and being able to get like a plus 1k, plus 2k pretty easily. V-Tamer Tai can get another plus 1k as well. Can help you in a lot of spots. Also, Leomon's definitely the way to build it in this build. Every Ulforce deck I've ever seen top, at least in the Ultimate Cup format, has been running the Leomon package, so I think it's kind of the staple and understood build right now too. And nothing too outrageous after that. So congratulations to Christopher for topping with this Ulforce here. Next up we have Konstantina's Blue Flare, which I think is a little bit of an interesting top for this event. Blue Flare hasn't been doing super good in the Ultimate Cup format. I think partially it's because at least, I think it's going to get better in EX4, 100%. And I think right now it's more of the deck is really reliant on your opponent playing into the effects, because they can play around this deck right now. And I think a lot of different builds that are really popular right now are single builds, which means it's very hard for your opponent to as a Blue Flare, it's really hard to interact with that if they don't play a second Digimon, So I think that can be impactful, but this is still a good engine in a lot of ways, and again, going to be a little bit better in EX4. I do like the Blucomon. When I first started playing this deck, started testing it before it came out, I definitely was running 4 Blucomons, and they felt really, really good. And the issue was just that this card didn't exist when the deck got released. So being able to get the additional draw and then the extra rookie to hand, I think is both fantastic, especially since we're running a deck that doesn't have a lot of rookies anyways, and since we're really based on getting our combo pieces and we don't have a lot of inherent cycle 2, I think the draw 2 from this card can be very strong. So I do like the ad from this one here, and I think it's been good. And I think it's also just worth putting it in after EX4 just for that additional draw. So anyways, this is their build there. Congratulations for their 4th place. And our last deck of today is going to be Luis's 10th place Yellow Hybrid build. So I really do like Yellow Hybrid in this format. If I was to play an event, I would probably be playing Yellow Hybrid. I don't think I'd be playing Blue Flare, and maybe Machinedramon if I was feeling good about it, but Yellow Hybrid's definitely it's still a really fun deck, and just being able to bring it back from the past I think is really, really cool. So we don't have anything, I would say, too outrageous from what we've been seeing from other ones. I think the biggest tech card that that I've seen is the Harrysmon, which security at the end of battle, one of your opponent's Digimon gains security attack -1, and they get to add it to your hand. So again, in a deck that doesn't run a lot of rookies, being able to have this rookie in your security and then you get to draw it afterwards is already a really good advantage for a deck like this. And then also giving something security attack -1 is strong too. So being able to get that additional stun, or like this can also like save you from losing the game sometimes, and it can really help you out. So I do like the ad from there, but everything else I'd say again pretty standard. We do have a lot of good cards in our option cards there. So Wyvern's Breath 4 of, I think this is fantastic, and Lonky at 4 of too. So being really aggressively defensive with these option cards, having some really good removal. I think Lonky is one of the best removal cards, especially against Machinedramon, which has been again popular in North America too. So I do like the ad of that, and sometimes as long as they're not running like the the EX1 Machinedramon, this is just like a tech option most of the time, and they don't run it at a lot of copies. So being able to use this to being able to play around it is easy if they don't see it. So But I don't know. I don't have much more to say about this one either. I like Yellow Hybrid, and I'm happy to see it getting a little bit of resurgence in this meta too, which is really cool. But anyways, that is going to be the breakdown for this video today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Do appreciate it. If you guys have any information on this Latin American event, please let me know. I'd really appreciate that too. And that's going to be it for me. So again, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.
Damn it. Damn it.